All right, this video is going to be about the upcoming film Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Well, it's going to relate to it because I recently found out after watching the first Doctor Strange movie that the end of the movie where he fought or contended with Dormammu, that one of the, I can't recall whether it was the writer or the director, but they actually said that sequence was Doctor Strange contending with him for the same amount of time as Bill Murray had to deal with his time loop in the movie Groundhog Day. So I went back and I actually just turned 38 yesterday on April the 30th. So happy birthday to me. But so I was watching a movie, and the director of again, he was either the writer or one of the co-writers or directors of Groundhog Day, actually said that he was actually repeating the same day on Groundhog Day for 30 some odd years, and that floored me. That and if you look at the movie, I highly recommend it. It's a great movie, by the way. So if you get a chance, watch Bill Murray's Groundhog Day. Very entertaining, very good message. There were actually religious groups who liked the movie because, well, from a Catholic perspective, they said he may have. It was like one of their interpretations of purgatory. He had to learn how to be a selfless and a kind individual in order to progress to the next day. And then I saw that actually even some Buddhists like it for similar reasons, since they believe in rebirth. That he had to. It's a similar situation. He had to overcome his ego, become a better person, so that he could get out of the loop. And it ties in with some of their beliefs. But it's insane. It's like really insane. Like how if you think about it, for me, that would make Doctor Strange one of, if not the strongest character mentally in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because if he could endure being killed for 30 years, and then if you look at some of the film theories, like I think What Culture did a very good job on at least two occasions of breaking down Groundhog Day. From their perspective, they said it could have been no less than 40, I want to say they said 42 years. Because if you look at Groundhog Day, some of the tasks that he mastered, or some of the skills, were things like ice sculpting. And from the what culture video, they said that there's like a minimum for becoming a master, like of any thing, of at least 10,000 hours of mastering any sort of I guess you could say craft, technique, or whatever, what have you. So you add that to the fact that he learned French in the movie. He recited this French poem to his love interest in the movie, the character Rita. I don't know the actress's name. His name was actually Phil. Bill Murray's name was actually Phil in Groundhog Day, I believe, which was funny because that's what the groundhog's name was also. Uh, but she was a French major. I think she said she studied it was either 18th or 19th century French poetry. And the first time he learned that about her, he actually said it was a waste, and they kind of ruined his date because in the movie he was courting her and trying to win her over, and who knows how many dates he went. He basically learned everything about her, um, and even that didn't work. So for a while he gave up on that, but then in the end they got together. Of course, this was one of those romantic comedies in the end, but very fascinating movie. Yeah, he mastered several throwing playing cards into a hat. He said she was like, it would take her a year to learn it. Rita said this, and he said actually it took 6 months. 6 months, 4 to 5 hours a day for 6 months, and he learned how to throw playing cards into a hat. Pretty interesting stuff. That movie was well written, but back to Doctor Strange. I mean, to be able to endure being killed briefly, it's not like he even had a full day. But to be killed that many times in a 30 to 40 year span is incredible. But I watched the movie several times, Groundhog Day, and towards the end, when he finally gets with Rita, she actually said that he lived 1,000 lifetimes because every time he would wake up on Groundhog Day and tell her he's just stuck in a time loop, he's repeating the same day. The first time he told her that, she suggested he see a shrink, and it was a small town, so there was no real, I guess you could say, good psychiatrist or psychologist. But the guy he was talking to, I guess, worked more on animals. Really, it's crazy. It's a crazy concept. So if you take aboard Rita's statement that he was there for 1,000 lifetimes, and then I looked up what is a lifetime, the span of a lifetime considered. I just briefly Googled it, and there were various answers. I always thought of a lifetime as because in prison here in the United States, you can get what they call 25 to life, or a life sentence, or they'll say consecutive life sentences. Now I know that 25 years, when you get a life sentence, I don't know whether a life is considered 25 years, but I know you're eligible for parole after 25 years. So if that's the measure, if he was, if it was 20, that would be 25,000 years of repeating the same day. And then some of the other suggestions I saw said a lifetime may be as little as 5 years, or as much as an actual lifespan, an average lifespan. So 79 years, so 79,000 years. So if Doctor Strange was added with Dormammu for that short time span, for that many years, he's actually the mentally strongest character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm really hyped about this movie. We saw from Spider-Man No Way Home the cameos that can happen. So I'm just hoping. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. There's several leaks here on YouTube now. I'll leave it up to individuals if you want to Google some of the leaks or just put it in YouTube. But there's several leaks. But I know there's much more than what's been leaked. So I'm excited to see all the crossovers and tie-ins, because it looks like what Marvel is doing is canonizing, or Marvel Studios, I should say. It looks like they're canonizing all the Fox X-Men properties and Fantastic Four properties, along with even the likes of Ghost Rider. Basically, any Marvel character that they didn't have ownership of when they began making the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're actually legitimizing those movies, but they're just putting them in a separate universe. So I'm hoping to see cameos from the likes of Hugh Jackman, Nicolas Cage, and shout out to Nicolas Cage and congratulations. He finally got out of debt by taking, this guy would take any role. That shows you he had to humble himself in order to get out of the debt he was in, which is very admirable on his part. So shout out to you, Nicolas Cage. A lot of people like to make fun of him. I'm not one. I think he's actually a good actor. But like most actors, good actors and actresses, you end up in bad movies. You can't avoid it. I mean, for the most part. I don't know of any actor who all he had was hits or popular movies. So, it's good. I hope to see him. I hope to see Wesley Snipes Blade. And any other iteration of Blade. There was actually a time where it was a rapper from Onyx by the name of Fredro Starr. I believe no, I'm sorry, it was Sticky Fingers. Sticky Fingers actually played Blade in one movie, which was terrible. Hope he gets to redeem himself. I hope, of course, we get to see Hugh Jackman, the guy who plays on Sonic the Hedgehog, who plays Cyclops. I want to see everyone, or as many people as possible. Both Quicksilvers and not the Ralph Boner variety. This could be a hit for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think it'll be probably one of their last big hits, because it looks like they're making the same mistakes that they did with the comic books. And by that I mean they're taking existing characters and swapping out their race and gender, which I don't think that's necessary, and I don't actually think it's a good idea. Unless it is like a one-off or a mini series where it's just an alternate universe, because that has happened in the past. It's just good to make, if you want diversity or you want representation, just make new characters, and people, if they're good characters with good backstories and good or interesting power sets, people will get into it. So I don't understand why they just But that's the problem with comic books in general. You're always retelling the same character story over and over. You're just upgrading it for a different time period. Some of these characters are decades and decades old, and they've had their stories reimagined or revamped so many times. But I don't think they should get into the unpopular territory. But I mean, we'll see. I could be mistaken about that. You have some people that call it the MCU. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna do that. But I am concerned because one of the things that Disney, one of the properties that it bought that was popular that they actually messed up was Star Wars. They basically made Star Wars into a Disney princess movie where the modern Disney princess movie is a strong female lead character that doesn't need help from any man. Um, that's usually what occurs. It's but I mean we'll see. I'm excited about this. It looks like it's gonna be cool. I got I actually bought my tickets as soon as they were available. I'm seeing it twice on Thursday, and I'll be doing a spoiler review. Um, and I'm actually going to see it Friday night as well. Once on Friday night, and if it's as outstanding as I think it's going to be, I'll do my best to see it within the same weekend. This movie looks like it's going to be really good. And from the people who've seen the first 20 minutes, they said Marvel is at its best. They're doing what they've done, like with Infinity War. They're hitting the ground running. But yeah, I want to conclude this video here. It was I mean, if you look at the Groundhog Day, also I still want to direct everyone to that. If you haven't seen that movie, again, I was born in the mid '80s, so somehow I missed that movie. I saw the Ghostbusters and some of the other things Bill Murray was involved in when I was young, but I missed Groundhog Day, and man, it was like I said, just turned 38. It was a treat. So, with that being said, I want to conclude the video here. I hope to hear some opinions in the comments. This channel is going to be dedicated to my son. He's all into. We're separated for now. I love you, buddy, and I hope everything works out. But we'll see. And I hope you get to see these videos. I'll be talking about um, you know sci-fi characters and write my own science fiction writing that I'm doing, and especially Godzilla because that's my son's favorite. So with that out of the way, thanks for watching for whoever does, and I'll see you in the next one.